5 years after the events of Inazuma 11 Go, football was still as popular as ever. However, the next generation started to think that playing for 90 minutes was a bit too long, and the uncertainty if a match would even be entertaining made them unsure if they should even watch to begin with. So the World Football Association came up with a different branch of their league, the G3 League. A high-octane 5 vs 5 league where the matches went on until one team had scored 3 goals. In just 3 years, the league established itself, and if things continued like this, it would one day be comparable to the classic football leagues. But in Japan, it didn't pick up that fast. With the accomplishments of Inazuma Japan 18 years ago, and their following achievements as Legends Japan when the players became adults, Japan's interest in football grew bigger and bigger. The wins that years later the next generation as Shinsei Inazuma Japan brought in only further increased the love. And because of that, the Japanese people had no interest in a new football league and remained with the classic football. However, to change that, a group of people came together with an idea that would grab the attention from every Japanese person. No, from every person across the world. One day at the Japanese Football Association.
And you really are sure that this sort of project will be successful?
The chairman of the Japanese Football Association looked nervously around the room, at the 3 people that would manage the upcoming football project and also a person that enthusiastically agreed to sponsor the whole thing.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I've seen the growth of the G3 League in other nations, but do we really need to invest this much into it here, when people are more interested in the classic league anyways?
The concern of the chairman were understandable. After all, spending 17,337,375,000 yen, which is equal to 101 million euro, was never an easy decision to make. However, one of the 3 people that would act as one of the managers of the project spoke up in a confident but rather slick voice.
That's where you are wrong, Mr. Todoroki.
The lanky man wagged his finger, which made his colleagues sigh in exhaustion even if they agreed with his point.
Our project will be a bomb blast of a success, and to begin with, it is way too late for you to get cold feet now.
All of the remaining men in the chairman's office nodded. The start of everything was close. They would have to go through with this entire thing even if it turned out to be not as successful as they expected it to be. To calm Todoroki Denjiro down, the main sponsor of this entire thing spoke up. Me and my partner have thought about this long and hard before deciding to sponsor it. And in the end, we came to the conclusion that even if the Japanese G3 League wouldn't grow as much as these 3 claim it will, the players that got trained in the project could make the classic Japanese leagues a lot more interesting as well. A wave of fresh new prospects, a firestorm to shake up the league. The chairman felt relief with that statement, but the leader of the project felt offended by it.
Tatsuya, I respect you, but you are underestimating my genius. You should remember that many of your football achievements were closely linked to my guidance. Without me, you would only be a shadow of yourself.
He laughed in an odd way, and Kira Tatsuya chuckled at a sight he had seen ever since he was a teenager. Yeah, sure, I trust you. That was also a massive reason why the Kira company decided to sponsor all of this. The voice of reason in this project was often buried beneath the 2 eccentric managers, but even he felt like he needed to say something to the chairman.
Mr. Todoroki, you know me. While I didn't leave as big of a mark on the history of Japanese football as these young men over there, I was still around to see a lot.
Oftentimes, experience was the major deciding factor, if someone was fully behind an idea.
These 2 are like a wildfire. Their ideas are things normal people like us would never even consider. But that is exactly why I believe in this project. And it's not like we only invited strikers. This will be an all-around entertaining spectacle. It is sure to be a big bang.
And with that, the whole thing had been set in stone. And 1 week from now, it would all start. Over 1,000 players from all over Japan had been invited to become the next G3 League sensation. Known faces, hidden gems, and absolute newcomers. For all of these people, Project Inazuma Lock will start next week.